Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Today's show, this is Tony Tone. It's Monday, the 20th of April. Good to be with you inside. It's a little warm in the Market Grill Express. I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe it's because I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, been wearing a lot of the Hy-Vee breathable polos, which have come in handy with how busy things have been given the last couple of days. We're so happy that you're with us. If you're watching live and you're in Facebook, please leave a comment. Great looking flowers behind us on the bar. Administrative Professionals Day is on Wednesday this week, so maybe you take care of someone in your life or at your work that's role is an administrative professional. I mean, they deal with a lot, right? Some of those folks are the face of your business, and it's the first person that somebody sees when they walk in the door. So help them out and recognize them this week. You got a lot of opportunities with the floral shop. They can get you taken care of. Even if it's just something, and I'm not trying to downplay this, just looks nice, right? Like, look at that. It's kind of fun. $12. Fun little vase. I think the vase is probably included, right? Yeah. I mean, you can go over the top. And we'd love if you spent more than $12, of course. The capitalist in me wants you to spend $1,200. But this will work too. So just keep that in mind. Or maybe the administrative professional in your life is a Star Wars fan and they need a BB-8 mug. I think these are on sale too, right? We're trying to blow them out. So please buy this BB-8 mug or this Millennium Falcon one. The best part about this Millennium Falcon is when you turn it over, look at that. There's a Millennium Falcon in there, right? Isn't that rad? So nothing but Star Wars, Star Wars mugs. And I want to mention this because this looks good. It's a pineapple upside down cake because today is National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day. So celebrate responsibly. Should I turn it around so you can see the label? Oh my! From the bakery. I feel like my grandma, this feels like a grandma thing. Like, I think, and I'm not trying to stereotype, but I feel like most grandmas could make a pretty mean pineapple upside down cake, right? Like yesterday, and my mom is now a grandma, which is weird to think about. Yesterday, we stopped by my mom's house because my wife was working, so I had the 3 kids. And I know I'm supposed to be social distancing, and we are typically, but my mom helps us out a lot. So we stopped by her house, and she's just like, does one of those things where she's like, you want to make like zucchini lasagna? And I was like, I don't know. And then the next thing I know, we're making zucchini lasagna on her table. So shout out to my mom. And it turned out fantastic. Like, it was really good. All right, I'm going to mention 2 things, and then we're going to get rolling officially. First comment is you still have time to use that 25-cent fuel saver that is on the newspaper from last week. I used it this Saturday. I needed to get gas, cut it out, right? Like Dave Coulier, cut it out, and then take it into Hy-Vee gas, 25 cents off a gallon. I don't even know how. I think I paid just $15.35 for almost 20 gallons of gas. This is wild. So that's what the coupon looks like. If you still have your Discover Muscatine newspaper, you have to have the physical coupon cut along the dotted lines. I just brought the paper in, and I was like, here you go. And my friend Kelly Peterson, Miss P, who's a teacher and also has worked part-time for Hy-Vee for a number of years, was at the gas station. She took care of me. Use that. It expires tomorrow, so please take advantage of that. 25 cents off. It's great. No strings attached. 25 cents off. Nobody else is doing that. So we want you to come in to Hy-Vee Gas. And the last thing that I'll say is last night, watching ESPN in my basement, they started this Last Dance documentary on the Chicago Bulls. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, Elmwood Park and Oak Park, Illinois. Big Chicago Bulls basketball fan. In 1998, I was 13 or 14. And watching Michael Jordan and the Bulls, they just kept winning. I mean, they won 6 NBA championships, and this documentary is a 10-part series. It follows the Bulls from the 97 to 98 season, and it started last night. They sped up the release because so many people are hanging out at home, and it's the talk of everything, whether you're a basketball fan or not. It's just fascinating to relive it, and I can't wait to watch the next 8 episodes. My 5-year-old fell asleep, and the baby was falling asleep, and my 8-year-old son was like, who are these guys? And I was like, well, that's Michael Jordan, and he's the greatest basketball player ever. And he was like, still? And I was like, well, no, now, maybe, I don't know. He's 53. He could probably still dunk. I can't dunk, right? So it's fascinating, and I hope you'll watch it. It's The Last Dance on ESPN. And it was weird to watch it because we have, we got the TV in the basement, and then it's like weird to see commercials because everything else you watch probably doesn't have commercials. So it's kind of annoying in that sense. Like, I can't skip this ad. I want to skip these ads. Like, I felt like my kid when I took him to see whatever movie we saw, the last movie that we saw, and my kid was like, I don't want to sit through this. It was the Sonic movie. All right, Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army in Muscatine is back. I feel like the last 40 days have been very busy for a lot of people. This store, of course, certainly the Salvation Army. I just kind of want to start with, I know there was a really cool donation last week. I want to get to that. But as we're sitting here on Monday, how have things been going for everybody at the Salvation Army? It seems like, I don't want to say things are slowing down. Mm-hmm. Are they still like climbing, or how do you feel? Because when you were here a couple weeks ago and it seemed like, oh my gosh, you're feeding more and more people. Has it leveled off at all?
We're hovering about 315, 320.
Oh gosh.
People were feeding every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The numbers fluctuate. Sometimes it'll be around 300, sometimes up to 325. Mm-hmm. Today, I think it's like 316 or 317. It's definitely very busy. Yeah. And it's really cool to see just how busy it is in the sense that you have MCSA down there with us. You have like Calvary and Mulford, E-Free Church down there volunteering, and different groups coming down to volunteer and put bags together for the food pantry. It's busy, but it's a good busy. So it's an interesting time.
And as far as like the food itself, are you still, because you have a relationship with the Riverbend Food Bank, which is in Quad Cities, so you're able to buy a lot for not a lot of money. So have you had to, and I guess are you having to make runs up there to get, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Riverbend Food Bank doesn't deliver to us.
Gotcha.
They do deliver to some people in town.
Sure.
They won't deliver to us. I think we came in a little too late. Mm-hmm. We didn't get grandfathered into the no delivery thing. So, but I don't mind. It's cool to go up there and see those guys in the warehouse and see how they're doing.
And that's in Moline, right?
Davenport.
Oh, it's in Davenport.
It is in Davenport, yeah.
So it used to be in Moline for a long time. But so you go up to Davenport and you buy all this stuff and then you come back. I mean, how many times are you having to go up multiple times a week? And then second thought, like, yes, you have a lot of buying power, but as far as like, what are you spending on a week? Can I ask that? Is that appropriate?
No, it's fine. Yeah, when we do an order, it's typically around $900.
Holy moly!
But I tell you, that $900, when I got the invoice from the guy in the warehouse, the retail value was $6,500.
That's outstanding.
I mean,
so you're turning $900, Lieutenant Bach, into $9,600.
Yeah, 6,500.
6,500. Yeah. I'm turning things around. But that's fantastic.
Yeah.
How do you fit that? What do you fit that in the Salvation Army mobile or what?
We did this last time I went up there. I couldn't get everything into the van in one trip. I had to go back the next day.
Did you have to put food in the kettle? Because you have this giant kettle. What is the kettle doing right now?
The kettle's actually sitting in the Brian Chick's his business.
Yeah.
Kind of sheltering in place.
Gotcha.
The kettle is anyway.
I feel like, but if you need to
if I needed
to
more
transport food, it has a trailer and it's a kettle.
Yeah.
So, and it would be a beacon of hope coming down 61.
That's absolutely right. It could, very well could be.
I mean, I don't know, but that's outstanding. So that relationship is so important. But $900 a week was not in a budget, but this is where, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, certainly, but you exceeded your Red Kettle campaign goal for the first time ever in Muscatine. So is that where you're able to say, first of all, we're in a pandemic. You're feeding 317 people today. $900 a week may not have been in a budget, which it's not. By the way, great picture right there.
Yeah.
So even if it's not in a quote unquote budget,
I mean, that's not such a great. Look how that's stacked. It's kind
of
like
talk about your Tetris.
There might be some
here.
Tomatoes crushed in that picture. It looks like
we picked up tomatoes. We got home. We had spaghetti sauce. Everybody.
That's how packed full that van gets. So all the seats are out of it right now. So
that's amazing.
We packed everything to the next.
So but. Is it money from the Red Kettle campaign, or like how are you affording that $900 a week?
I can tell you that we've got a community foundation grant, $7,500 to help buy food.
Okay.
People have been very, very generous in their giving to the Salvation Army for COVID-19 related expenses. So I can say that so far we have not dipped into the like the day camp funds, anything like that we brought in through the Kettle campaign. We've just spent what's coming in so far, like through the Community Foundation grant, which is great. Because
That's
also
incredible.
the cool thing about this whole experience is that when MCSA gets an order from the food bank, they deliver it to Salvation Army, and we share resources. So we're kind of like shouldering each other's expenses. We're sharing resources, so it's kind of spread out amongst the nonprofits.
That's really exciting to be able to not have to dip into any of those funds. And I feel like, and I don't want to go out of, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be going out of chronological order as far as the questions that I had. I want to get to the no, you're fine. I'm just looking at my notes, and I'm going to get to the Bayer thing in a second. But last week, a lot of folks, 80 million, received their stimulus from the government. Yeah. And you on Facebook said that like some people were getting their stimulus money and going like, here you go, Salvation Army. Yeah. That's a fact. That happened.
That happened, and it's continuing to happen. And I came back from the food bank run, and Sissy and Mary are in the office, and they just kind of like, Lieutenant, we got to tell you something that happened. That's cool. And I'm like, well, okay, what could it be? And they start telling me, and I'm like, wait a second. This money that's not counted, as income, it's not taxable stuff. It's straight from, you're telling me that they're just giving it freely to the Salvation Army. She's like, yeah, not one, but like 3 have called so far today. And then it kept going. So the first person that did it said, I don't want any recognition, but maybe, you might want to put something on Facebook to see if a chain reaction can happen. How cool would that be?
That's smart. Yeah.
And so we did that, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
I absolutely love that. Cool. I mean, how about the spirit of that? And you're right. I mean, certainly the federal government made the decision to try and stimulate the economy, $2 trillion or whatever it was. And then for people to get that and go, because selfishly, like I bought a bed. Now I feel bad that I bought a bed.
Don't feel bad that you bought a bed.
It worked. The chain reaction is guilt. Now I have all this Irish guilt. No. But I had the same bed for 10 years. I'm not frivolous with my bed money.
Right.
So that's outstanding for people to do that because, again, they know that you're feeding all these folks. We had it on the screen a second ago, so I'll mention this. More good news keeps coming out of this situation. Chris Bohr and the crew from Bayer, formerly Monsanto, Bayer here in Muscatine, step up to the plate with hand sanitizer. Yes. How much was it? Because I don't know. I knew that this was going to happen. Like I had heard, and you and I were supposed to get together last week. We had to cancel the show. So that had to be pretty exciting, right?
It was. Because we get this request all the time. Hey, I can't find toilet paper. I can't find cleaning supplies. One of the big things people are wanting is hand sanitizer.
Sure.
And we had a box. I found a box of it at Salvation Army of the pump, and I took some of it to the post office because those folks did some stuff. So we're running out of hand sanitizer, just a few bottles that we had, and we get this information that Bayer has made just a bunch of hand sanitizer, and they brought down 12 1-gallon jugs of hand sanitizer that we can then put into smaller. We can put it into smaller bottles and hand it out. So
you can ration it out.
Yeah. So just the fact, and I think I said in Discover Muscatine, you can really tell when corporations with businesses have deep roots that run just very healthy into the community because they time after time again they always step up to the plate and to make a big difference when it really counts. And this is it. This is that time.
Well, and I was going to say it's so fascinating to watch these companies step up. They've done it time and time again, and for Chris Bohr and the crew at Bayer, it just comes second nature to do the right thing. But then I think it was Scott Dahlke that was here last week, and I didn't even know how Kent had opened up their kitchen. And that's fantastic. And I someone that sees Gage Kent often in this store, these are tangible people. They're in town. So that's got to be nice. Again, it is such a weird circumstance that we find ourselves in. But it's also, how do I say this? It's not new. It's new. This pandemic is new, but the sense of coming togetherness and community support, we've been doing that.
Right.
Now it's just sort of we need to step it up a little bit. Okay. Could you imagine if it were another community where it wasn't constantly, you'd come out of a successful Red Kettle campaign, sleeping in a kettle, exceed a goal, and then right into a pandemic, basically. Yeah. I mean, and for your wife and yourself, what an interesting first year. I can't even imagine, like, getting into this role, your first stop on the tour for the Salvation Army, Muscatine, Iowa. Who would have thought it would be? Oh, my gosh.
I certainly didn't expect our first year as officers in the Salvation Army to be like this. But it is. This is where we find ourselves, and we have to adapt and really overcome. And and the way we're doing that is by community. And this community could have said, we just gave to him when he lived in this red kettle. We're not going to give any more to the Salvation Army, but they didn't. These are the folks that are calling and going, listen, you guys need this stimulus more than I do. Take our $2,400, take our $1,200, and use it. Stretch your dollars, do the most good. And that's community. It's really neighbors helping neighbors, friends helping friends, and strangers helping strangers.
And some of the stories, and it's not about necessarily like sharing the stories, but you have done that a little bit where, whether it's getting somebody a meal or just being out. You had a story, I think, when you were at the post office. People are just, and it's great to be able to capture those interactions and share them, because it can, to the person who made the comment about, donating their stimulus, inspiring others. And the same thing with a good story can really go a long way. And I imagine you're still, the recipient of that. And it's not why you're doing it, of course, that's not what I mean, but that's got to happen daily, right? I mean, today alone, 317 people are going to receive food that otherwise, what are they going to do? Right?
No,
we can't even think about
the drivers come back every day and they say, somebody wanted to donate money. Can we take it? And I go, no, you can't. We can't give out a service and take cash for it or checks for it in return. If they want to mail it in, that's cool. But just make sure you tell them that that's not required. To get this service, it's not required that you give to Salvation Army. If they want to go above and beyond and send a check or cash, we'll gladly take it and use it and stretch dollars with it. But it's not required. But just the generosity of people during this time to want to give back and to want to help people that are struggling. The guy at the post office, he said, I get those meals every single day, and if I give you $100, can you ensure that old people like me will continue getting fed? And I'm like, well, sir, that's not required. You don't have to do that. And then he pulls out this big wad of cash from his wallet. He had rubber banded around together, and he counted out $100. And then he stopped. He goes, "Oh, here's 100 more. Here, $200 will do you right." And I was like, "Well, thank you very much, sir. This is not it's appreciated. It's not required." But he wanted to make sure that older people that were at risk would continue getting fed, and that's.
It's beautiful to hear that, right? I mean, and that's. During the wake of everything that's going on, when stories like that can get out there, because there are people that are feeling hopeless, right? And you can see those flashes of good, and it can really do. I mean, you talk about creating a wake of good, like it's inspiring when you hear that. How many, 317 people today, or however many, is it 95% of these folks maybe had never received a service from the Salvation Army prior to this? And then then the follow-up thought that I have to that is, certainly as we get older, we get more stubborn. So I hope certainly if there's people out there that are feeling like they don't need help, it's okay to admit that you do.
There's no shame.
So talk about that, because, and I don't want to say like there's folks that maybe didn't know what the Salvation Army did, but that's probably part of it as well, right? I mean, 317 people, 45 days ago, Salvation Army, okay, see them on Oregon Street. That guy slept in a kettle. That's cool. And then all of a sudden they're relying on food on a weekly basis, right?
It's, and that's important to people to realize is we're more than just a family store. No, it's not coming back to Muscatine. I'm not saying that to say a family store, but people associate us with the Kettle Campaign and family stores. And we're so much more than that. I love the message that Scott Hendricks, Lefty, put on our sign. He said, yes, we're a church and we're a lot more. And that a lot more means that we're also a social service agency that spans around the world. This is a worldwide pandemic, and in every country, the Army's officers and their soldiers and their adherents are engaging and helping people during this time. And in Muscatine here, there's people that come through the pantry. A lady came and knocked on the door just last week, Friday. And she said she was in tears. She said, I've never had to ask for help before. I don't know what to do. My family needs food. And I almost said, we'll come back at 1 o'clock when the drive-through mobile pantry starts.
Sure.
But something about it just stopped me. Here she is in tears.
Right.
And she says, I've never had to ask for help before. So I said, just hang on a second. I'll be right back. And I brought her out. Like, I hooked her up. I brought her a whole grocery cart full of food and bread and some sweets from Hy-Vee. And she was just in tears.
Yeah.
You know, and she said, I've never had to ask for this kind of help before.
Sure.
And we're finding that with a lot of people. A lot of folks never had to have a hot meal delivered to their house or a bag of groceries delivered to their house.
And they probably don't even know where to start.
They don't.
Right?
Yeah, and it's a simple phone call or message to our Facebook page to start that. And so that's our message. We want people to know that there's no shame in having to ask for help. Because in our reality, a lot of us are just a pink slip away from having to take a step back, pull back, rein in our finances, and live penny to penny and have to seek out that kind of help. And so, I understand that.
Yeah, and I whether it's someone, you know, understanding that, like that lady, and it's so great that you're there to help her to meet the need. But then I think a lot of it is a neighbor, right? Maybe you have that neighbor that's elderly, and you're checking up on them, and you think they're okay, but you know they're not getting out much because they're at risk because they're older. It's okay to say, hey, here's what I can do for you, but also I want you to know I can connect you. Because I'll be the first to admit it, you know, at 36, I'm way more stubborn than I was at 26 and certainly at 16, and I don't see it slowing down. But I just hope that for people during this time, they don't feel that sense of, because the fact is, if you're not leaving the house and you're not coming to a place like Hy-Vee, who's still taking care of people from 7 to 8 a.m. that are over 60, women that are pregnant, and folks that are at risk. And I know for a fact, like I see people when I come to work. I came to work today at 7:30, walking across the lot, cars here. Okay, people are taking advantage of that 7 to 8 window. That's what it's there for. But how many other people can't leave?
Yeah.
How many people am I taking phone calls from that were taking their grocery order over the phone? So there's people that are able to do that. But then I guarantee, well, I mean, and I'm not saying that all 317 people fall into some type of category or demographic, but I guarantee you there's, what, a couple hundred more folks that are out there that are just either not sure where to go or unwilling to ask for help. Yeah. And that's tough to think about.
And you know, there's it's like I say when it gets hot outside, there's no reason to suffer and sweat in silence.
Sure.
We're a cooling center. Same thing with now. There's no reason to sit there hungry.
Right.
Because you don't want to ask for help whenever there are people in this community who have given. Sure. Have given generously, some sacrificially, to make sure that you don't have to go without food and sit there hungry and lonely and just kind of distraught.
Sure.
Because we're here to help, and there's people like us that have given to make sure that those needs are met in that way. So if you're out there and you're hungry, and you know, call us up and let us deliver a hot meal to you or a bag of groceries to you. You know.
So we're into. I mean, it's so wild, Lieutenant Bach, to think that April's almost over. Because I feel like it just started, but then March felt the same way.
Yeah, flew
and
by.
Everything kind of hit the skids March 11th, 12th, 13th, and then you blink and March is over, and then here's April. And I just wonder, so, and the trajectory kind of seems like, well, everybody follows the Iowa Department of Public Health, and you pay attention to how things are going. But it does seem like the need's not going to slow down. Right. You've already alluded to that, spoke to that this morning. So we have to keep meeting that need. So I just hope that people that are volunteering or thinking about it or can afford to make that donation, that they don't assume, well, when May comes around or June, it'll be over. Yeah. And because I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm certainly not a scientist. Yeah. And we always know that the need is there, right? Yeah. Even if this is a non-pandemic situation, you're probably still on this show talking about everything else that's going on. So I just hope, and that's what obviously on my list is, do you have current needs? Is it financial? Is it volunteers? I mean, you were here 3 weeks ago and you were feeding 200 people. You've gone up by 120. So I'm assuming you probably need more volunteers, right? Yeah,
more drivers, more folks come in and pack food bags, people to help out, you know, just get the word out, people to answer the phones. Man, how awesome would it be if Sissy could have somebody in the office with her just answering the phone for her, because the phone rings nonstop. And that's a big part of making sure folks can get on the list is the phone has to be answered.
Sure.
So that, and then we have the community cleaning closet, which is something we never thought we'd have at the Salvation Army. And the Salvation Army in Norridge, in the greater Chicago area,
Sure.
they did something cool where they started a cleaning pantry, a cleaning supply pantry, and that's kind of what we didn't stop the food pantry, but we've shifted as well to add that community cleaning closet. And it's so we'll take your donations of Lysol wipes, of sprays, of cleaning detergents, disinfectants, hand pump soaps, laundry detergent, toilet paper, paper towels, that kind of stuff, because we want the folks that, and we're working with public health on this.
Sure.
We want people that have been impacted by the COVID virus who might say, I can't get out of the house. When I do, I go and the stuff is gone.
Right.
I need cleaning supplies, and I can't disinfect my bathroom or my kitchen. Help. We want to give them the hand sanitizer and those cleaning supplies. So we'll take those donations, monetary donations. If you want to give for the food relief portion of it, you can give to Salvation Army through MCSA.
Okay.
If you want to give monetarily to the cleaning closet, the Community Foundation has matching dollars. So we suggest that you give through the Community Foundation because they can match it, and it just doubles the amount.
That's exciting.
It's really cool.
So, right. And it is, as someone that works here and gets asked all the time, the question that I hear most is, and I do take a lot of the elderly call-in orders because I have a lot of empathy. I think I'm talking to my grandparents, basically.
Yeah.
And nobody loved their grandparents more than I did, right? And that's the question that I get asked is, when is a good time? And the comment is always, I'm not trying to hoard toilet paper, but I need it. And it's getting better, certainly. And I try and tell them, here's what I know. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this store, a truck shows up, and on that truck is typically toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies. But here, and I just tell people, because I'm transparent, like the manufacturers are trying to keep up with the demand. Yeah. So they're making all this stuff as fast as they can, and they're sending it to places like Hy-Vee in Des Moines. And then when it gets to us, they're saying, here's how much Muscatine's going to get, here's how much Davenport's going to get, and the other stores, and then it gets on a truck and it comes here. And we still have the limits in place because we want, I just had somebody reach out to me the other day, like, can I get, 9 things of Lysol spray? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, certainly I want to be able to do that, but what if I pull 9 for this person and then there's not 9 on the shelf for somebody that needs it? Or to your point, right? Like, yes, if you are able to buy this stuff and you find, like my mom the other day was like, I don't know if I like those Clorox wipes. I'm like, well, we'll take them at our house because we like them. Certainly. She's like, I don't like the smell. And I'm like, you get like, it's good for a purpose, but like, we'll take them. But I didn't even think like that's something she could donate. That's genius. So if you find yourself, maybe you did hoard, and that's okay, because it was scary there for a while. Sure it was. And you just have a plethora of cleaning supplies. Donate it.
Bring them down.
Judgment free, right?
Judgment free. Yeah. Well, and we'll make sure they get into the hands of someone who really needs them. Not that we all don't need them. Sure. And I think in Discover Muscatine, I said we want to make sure that the folks in Muscatine County understand that your nonprofits, your big corporations, your chambers of commerce, your community foundations, your local grocery stores, your nonprofits, they all want to make sure that every family that needs cleaning supplies and disinfectants has them. And it's been a great collaborative effort so far. And we're really counting on the community that maybe did go out and buy in bulk and has it sitting there. And so instead of selling them on Facebook Marketplace as a basket, you can come to Salvation Army and you can donate them to people who really need them.
Drives me wild when I see the cleaning supply basket for sale. Like you just, I mean, it is what it is, right? Okay, so I wanted to ask about, they just made the decision last week. The governor said no school. Which is tough. You have kids, I have kids. Everybody's schedule. I just hope people understand that, like if you're watching and you're an empty nester or you don't have kids, like how much of a, that can cause, like, what are we going to do?
Panic.
What does that mean for Kids Zone camp? I mean, does it have to get to a point where, how does that work, right? Because like you typically would have 60 to 80, 100 kids in this camp. Starting in late May, early June, and they'd be with you, and you'd be doing a whole bunch of stuff. Where are you at currently? Are you waiting on the state, or
I just made the call last week
Yeah.
to my divisional commander
Mm-hmm.
at our headquarters in Peoria, and she said to plan like it's still going to go. Because I said, YMCA is still planning their day camp, and
Sure.
so kind of going off of what kind of the feel of the community is.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to plan like full speed ahead. So
Wow.
we're planning like we're going to do this day camp, and we can still accept applications. And you know what's cool about this too is we reached out to some people before I got the call to say we haven't cashed your check yet for Kids Zone Day Camp because we don't know that it's still going to happen. And the response was, go ahead and cash the check because if day camp is canceled, that's our donation to
that's
the
exciting.
COVID relief.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how awesome is that?
That's super cool. And the camp is great. And as someone that's had a kid involved, like we want it obviously to happen. And and I think even if, I think the way to get through this is everybody needs to get tested. It's the only way you can do this. We got to get a rapid test to everybody in the country so you know kind of where things are at. And if that's if you have to take temps to start day camp, and at the end, I take my temperature every day. And it's not because I'm paranoid. It's because I work in a public place. And I've got I had just bought a nice thermometer from here in late February when you could still buy a thermometer. And I take it. I took it this morning. I took it last night. I just want to make sure that I'm okay and not going to put anybody at risk. And that's going to be part of the new normal is your kids go to a camp. Cool. Hey, give them a quick zap of the temp and then they're good to go. And then everybody's washing their hands. So, it's not because I want to make that comment because I don't want people to think, well, you're still going to have a camp. Like nobody's being careless. Everybody's paying attention. You're talking to divisional commander, but that might be the thing, right? Like they're talking about how we're going to finish the NBA basketball season. Like what if we go to Vegas and you don't have any fans and you check all the players' temps? Well, you can say the same thing about kids at a camp in Muscatine, Iowa.
Exactly.
And I'm inclined to say I care a little bit more about a camp for kids in Muscatine than I do NBA players. So if that's what has to be the case,
so be it.
That might be the way for a while. Right. So I think I'm glad that I asked that because I didn't know if it was in flux or not. So
and you know what? If public health comes out and says we don't recommend day camp, then we'll be the first ones to say we want to make sure we're doing what's best for the kids and their families and this community to slow the spread, to flatten the curve, to make sure that people are staying healthy. We'll be the first ones to stop and refund everybody's money back to them and to just take those measures that way. But as of right now, man, we're planning our theme kind of got thrown off course because it was go for gold, with Summer Olympics,
but
that got canceled on us. So, but we're still planning we're planning to have a good, fun summer. If attractions are closed, then we'll do like they did in the old times. We'll go across the street to the Ball Diamond and play kickball and have water balloon fights and squirt guns and color wars with powders and. We'll have fun that way.
There's ways to do it. And maybe the new theme can be, it's okay to stay 6 feet away. I don't know. Maybe that's the new theme.
It's okay to stay 6 foot away.
Like, hey, I'm trying to, these kids over here, I can't get a foot closer. Stop horsing around. That's the new camp. It's like, I need to, don't do that. All right. So if you're watching and you want to get involved with the Salvation Army, you should. You should know that this number, 316 plus people relying on food today. That's today, right? Today. April 20th. How many times a week you feeding people?
3 times a week, and it could go to 5.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So please, if you hear that, this is not fake news. This is real. This is in your county. If you're in Muscatine County, we're talking about 300 plus people relying on Salvation Army. And stories like, that lady coming to 1000 Oregon Street the other day and saying, I've never had to rely on the Salvation Army for help and I don't know what to do. That'll continue. So if you can meet the need, please call that number right there, 263-8272. And I promise you'll feel good. And certainly people, whatever motivates you, you'll have a good feeling, and that's okay, right? It's okay to feel good about doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
There shouldn't be any shame in being able to volunteer and give. That's okay, Nobody's gonna give you a hard time. You pat yourself on the back, like, no, it's awesome. This is the time to do it, right?
And encourage people to do it and say, you know what, you just made a difference in somebody's life that you don't even know,
right?
And it could have been the difference between life or death.
Absolutely.
They could have went for weeks or days without eating, and they're sitting there and they're, or it could be a situation where they have to choose between buying their groceries or buying their medicines.
Can't even think about that.
And we can provide food and groceries and hot meals. They can go buy their medicines. That's what I mean. People don't understand that when they give to places like Salvation Army, MCSA, United Way.
There's Matt. Yeah, it's amazing that you're able to stretch that dollar. Everybody working together. It's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
I would like to. I want you to play the What's in the Box game. Matt doesn't even know that this is going to be a new thing on this show. So, are you familiar with this? They do this on different shows like Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon. So,
okay, yeah.
You have to stick your hand in and see if you can guess what's in the box.
Man. Okay.
So, and I promise it's not a bag of money, although I wish it
That'd
were.
be, hey,
all right.
There's a few checks.
All right.
So just
Do you
stick it
think
in?
you can figure out what's in the box? Give it a go. You can. I think you can come in on the other side, maybe if you need to.
Oh, both sides. Okay.
Yeah, or just one side.
Is this like one of those finger traps?
No, there's not. It's not a finger trap.
Okay.
We're not.
All right. Is there more than one? Is there?
I don't know.
One thing in here? Is there
Brad put something in there. There's 2 things in there. Okay.
There's 2 things in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like household items, maybe, Brad.
So one. Let's see. One kind of it's a package.
Okay.
It feels like there's like something cloth in it.
Okay.
Like maybe like wipes or something, or
Okay.
not like wet wipes. It feels like it's all dry stuff.
Okay.
So like an oversized like tissue, like one of those small tissue packages.
That seems like a good guess. Okay.
Or like one of those, maybe like those kitchen towels that you can like disposable ones or rewashable ones. And then I gotta find. So there's one more thing.
This is fascinating. I can do this with everybody.
Let's see.
Lieutenant Greg Bach playing What's in the Box.
There's cardboard in here. Is that part of the?
I think that's part of the box. We haven't really opened it yet.
Oh.
I just made the decision we were going to take that with us.
So I don't want to destroy your box, but I've only found one thing in here.
Oh boy.
But there is 2 for sure.
Don't tell them about the squirrel that's in there.
Oh,
There's a squirrel in the box, everybody.
Okay. I feel it.
Okay.
I gotta pull it out.
Okay.
I'm not destroying your box. But okay, I got the second thing.
Okay. I feel like the box is starting to open on his side. He doesn't even realize it.
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not looking down either. So okay, let's go ahead and pull it up. So this one's a little smaller. It's flat.
All right.
Jeez.
I think part of this is supposed to be we're supposed to turn. All right, make a guess.
Do I need to turn this around?
Yeah, I think that's part of it, so the audience can see. I'm just realizing.
Okay, I won't look then.
I'm supposed to watch. I've never played this before.
Okay, so I won't look at this.
Okay.
Screen. So this was the first one that I did. That felt like it might have been like some sort of.
You're good.
If
no,
you're
good. No, you're good with the first.
This is like a feminine Hy-Vee product.
You were spot on. Let me see this.
Okay.
So look at how good he was with a pack of Kleenex. Right?
Oh, look at that.
That's fantastic. And then keep guessing what do you think the second thing is.
The second thing.
Yeah. What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I don't know, it's flat.
All right, hold it up and look at it.
And
it's the instructions for the game.
Oh my goodness. So there is only one.
I didn't even know what was in there. So the whole time he nailed the Kleenex, and then he's trying to guess what this was, and it's literally the instructions.
To the
Wait,
game.
there's something else in there? Where?
Oh,
there's more. Okay, there is something.
So
all right.
This feels like it could be wet.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Like a one shot deal.
Uh-huh.
So, oh man. Oh! I think
let's
it
have your
is
guess.
like a Tide wipe. Like you can wipe the sand off of your shirt.
All right, he's going with Tide wipe. All right, take a look.
That's what I go with.
Take a look. It's pretty close. It's mosquito repellent.
Oh my goodness.
Not bad.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
That's pretty good. So that's fun.
Wouldn't have guessed that. All right.
Right?
That one.
I like this. What's in the box?
That's cool, man. Sorry I destroyed your box.
No, it's okay.
Pulled out the
This
instructions.
is super exciting. I had no idea that that's how it's supposed to work. We hadn't even opened it because I didn't know if we were going to take it for the show. But now it's going to be a thing we do with all the guests. What's in the box? Maybe we'll even get it sponsored. Sponsored by Toyota Muscatine. There could be a new key to a car in there. You like
hey,
that?
man.
Right?
Yes, that's cool.
I mean, that Salvation Army mobile hauling all that
you can
food.
even turn something, it looks like up here.
I think that's a timer.
Oh.
I can't set a timer for you.
Got
You're
it.
like me. You got a lot to say. You got to think about it. And you totally worked
That's
through
true.
that.
I
Look at
sure
that.
did.
All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. 316 or more people are going to get fed today because of the efforts of the Salvation Army and MCSA and the United Way and all the volunteers. How many drivers does that take? I don't even know.
Yeah, there's
316 people.
There's a lot of routes.
And keep in mind, if you want to volunteer, you're going to be totally safe. I think you're checking temps on drivers. You're making sure everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
So please get involved if you're able to. It's the right thing to do. And it'll be, what is it, July? A year in Muscatine for your family?
End of June. Yeah,
End of
July.
June. So in 1 year, the Bach family came to town, first assignment, straight out of the Salvation Army.
College for officer training in Chicago.
So imagine that. It's kind of like your first job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do all of this in the first year. So I don't know how they go as far as like promoting folks within the Salvation Army, but I feel like all the things you guys have been through, maybe they gave you a little bump in rank as like, right? Because who would have thought? I mean, it could have been a boring year.
Yeah.
Right? The biggest thing would have been like celebrating the success of the Red Kettle campaign, coming into this Kid Zone camp, and then just taking care of people.
Yeah.
Wow. It is wild to think about that. What a year it's been for you guys.
We've been blessed because we've had great partners like Hy-Vee and you and Matt. And during this time, I just want everyone to know and to understand that I don't think that these Salvation Army and MCSA, United Way, Jesus Mission, I don't think there's ever been such a focused, a unified, collaborative focus where we're all closely working together. We're on calls with each other all the time, like there is right now. And it's unfortunate that it took a pandemic for this to happen. And we're all in talks about how we can keep the collaboration going forward and working this closely together, because it's been great, a good learning experience for us, and the community is really benefiting from just these organizations just working together and moving forward.
Well, to be able to pool all the resources is, it's outstanding, and definitely keep the momentum going for sure. Well, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for playing the What's in the Box. You totally got it, man.
I totally destroyed your game.
No, you didn't. It's fine. It's a game. What do you want? It was broken back there. We've had this since Christmas. So we're doing Brent and the GM department a favor by interstore transferring this. He'll get credit for it. Don't you worry. We're not,
That's awesome.
It's not like it's coming out of my pocket, per se. All right, let's go CVI Bank and Trust aisle cam, live look outside. We'll let Lieutenant Bach get about his day because he's got to feed, again, 300 plus people today. It's Monday, the 20th of April, feeling good, looking good outside. Seems like the weather will cooperate this week. We definitely had snow the other day. Remember that? When you woke up and there was snow everywhere and then it was gone. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, did it really snow? I mean, Saturday it was nice. It was a little windy. But it's just crazy. And I've got, I tried to get a picture. So I've got a bunny nest in my backyard. Is it called a burrow? Thank you, sir. Yeah. So we've got a full-on bunny burrow. And it's not, I thought it was under the deck, and it's just in the middle of the yard. So I got home last night, had stopped by my mom's house. I told you I made like the zucchini lasagna, which was really good, by the way. Get in the backyard, 5 bunnies in the yard. 5 of them, just chilling. And then the one bunny is sitting on, and I didn't even know they did this. Like they have dug into my grass, right? And then there's stuff. I don't know what they're pulling stuff. It's like a bird's nest kind of. There's all this stuff and so I cut my grass yesterday and I mowed around the bunny nest. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I mean, I certainly don't want a hole in my yard, but I also feel like I like bunnies. They're not like, you know what I mean? It'd be different if it was like a cockroach thing. I would have mowed right over it. I don't have a lot of empathy for cockroaches, but I see these bunnies and I'm like, they're so cute. But now I feel like I'm inviting all of the bunnies to the house. And then my 5-year-old Saturday night looks out the window, sees Bunny Palooza, and goes, this is true. I should have taken a picture of this as well. So Ted is 5, my 5-year-old. He goes to the fridge, he gets carrots, and he was trying to lure E.T. with Reese's Pieces, but it's carrots. If you get that reference, you're so welcome. There were carrots from the deck into the garage and then up the step that comes into our house. And he's like, well, I want the bunny to come in the house. And I'm like, you're not bringing a wild animal into the house. And he's like, I don't care. I want a bunny. And I'm like, these are not the kind of bunnies. First of all, there's Ted right there. First of all, we're not getting a bunny. We're not getting a bunny. We already had Pickles the hamster, rest in peace. We're not doing this. We're not doing, but there were carrots from the deck step up the deck into the garage. And then yesterday he's taking the carrots and he's putting them near the bunny burrow. Is that what it's called? I really don't know. Bunny nest. What is a bunny's nest? The bunny love shack. But there's 5 of them in the yard when we got home last night. And they're all looking at me like this. And then as soon as you take a step, they just, and they're gone. And I'm like, I want to tell them we're friendly. We're not going to bother you. I mean, it's my house. You're kind of, that's it. That's what I got. That's exactly what it looks like. That is weird. Oh my gosh, there's going to be that many baby bunnies? Oh no. I can't afford all these baby bunnies. I already got enough kids. What are we doing? That one right there, Chad. You zoom in right there, the one with the guy with the glove. That's almost exactly what my yard looks like. Now there's oh man, look at those baby bunnies. I'm not at that point yet. I don't think the birth has happened, but certainly that's what it looks like. The nesting is happening. So I think what I got to, first of all, how long does it take? Is this bunny pregnant for 9 months? Is this going to be a thing? I don't know. I don't really want to look into all this bunny birthing stuff. That's a weird thing to look, but it's happening in my yard. And then what do I do? Like the babies are born and then I close up shop and I'm like, all right, you got to get out of here, bunnies. You got to get out into the world. Time to get a job. But it is the I mean, it is hopping at my house, right? What is it called? A warren? Wow. Not a burrow, huh? Where did they get burrow from? A nest or a warren? A litter. These bunnies are littering and then my dog's going crazy. So now I had to reassess the lead because the dogs, and now I'm thinking about this, I probably should text my wife, make sure the dog's lead doesn't go as far as the bunny factory, whatever. Don't want the dog to mess up with anyways. This is a whole thing in my house, and I don't know what to do. We're just going to embrace it, everybody. They nest for 3 weeks? Look at Lassie trying to get those bunnies. That is a collie right there. Now I got to fence it in? What am I going to buy a fence for these bunnies? I don't got bunny fence money. I should ask Lieutenant Bach. I should call Chris at the Humane Society. You got any bunny fencing to keep out my dog? Oh my Lord, I don't want to do this. Anyway, so that's what's happening at my house. I want to mention again the flowers. Brad, can we do like a pan of these flowers behind me? They look good. Administrative Professionals Day is on Wednesday. So if you're considering taking care of the administrative professional in your life, this is the week to do it. Administrative Professionals Day is this week. We want to get you taken care of. Hy-Vee Floral Shop, ready to go. So from flowers to balloons, maybe you grab them a Hy-Vee gift card, Starbucks gift card, plants. It all looks really good. And please consider taking care of them. And shout out, of course, you can see some of the balloons back there look like nurses or healthcare workers doing a great job. Somebody put right in the entrance to the hospital, it says Healthcare Heroes. It looks really cool on Mulberry. Drive past, check that out. All right, so that's coming up this week, Administrative Professionals Day. I'll mention today, the 20th of April, like I said, it's pineapple upside down cake. Look at that. This is Steve Graham and Boney are going to have this for lunch. It's a pineapple upside down cake. Also a good drink, by the way. I'd take a pineapple upside down cake shot right now. Pineapple upside down cake. It's National Cheddar Fries Day. Will you get a little cheddar cheese on your fries? Doesn't that sound good? That sounds like a good idea. Lima Bean Respect Day. Do we have lima beans? Oh, right here. Yes, look at that. Lima beans. You mean the thing right in front of me? They're right in front of you, Tony. There you go. Lima beans. Yeah. I got no issue with. Oh, and look, there's an easy recipe for succotash on the can. Suffering succotash. I was wondering about that. Look at that. It's not hard or complex succotash. It's easy with lima beans. It is National Look-alike Day. Do you have someone that people tell you look like? my favorite thing, one of my favorite things that's been said to me in my life, and I don't think it's accurate, but when I was a freshman in high school, a classmate whose locker was next to mine said, quote, "You look like dude off of Roseanne." So I've been told I look like John Goodman, which should be flattering. He's a great actor, but that was the quote, "You look like dude off Roseanne." And then I've been told I look like the actor Greg Grunberg. And we've talked about this on the show. You know, we've done this show 2.5 years. So certainly we've come across National Lookalike Day before. But yeah, so Greg Grunberg or dude off of Roseanne. I don't see it. Right? Especially I got the goatee. But John Goodman, listen, the dude's rich, right? He's been in some great TV shows, great movies. He's in The Big Lebowski. That's fantastic. But yeah, the Greg Grunberg one, maybe, I don't know. But if you have someone you look alike, today is National Lookalike Day. Do you have someone, people are like, you know who you look like? Is this person. All right, let's see. Mention a couple of things and we'll get out of here. Take advantage of that gas coupon. You've got 2 more days, today and tomorrow. 25 cents off a gallon. It's awesome. It's on the back page of the Discover Muscatine newspaper. We want you to utilize it. Don't pay full price at the pump. We still $1.44 out there, guys. I think that's where we're at. I think that's right. We went into, took a ride up to, I did not go to the Field of Dreams this weekend. I did just take a ride into Davenport. And there was a gas station in Davenport that had gas really, really cheap. And then I also saw where they also had $1.40. Look at that. So there's a gas station in Davenport, had gas really, really cheap, and they were also skimming people's credit card information. So sometimes a deal that seems too good to be true can be just that. Lieutenant Bach was walking to his vehicle a moment ago. Looks like he had a balloon and some flowers. So $1.40 a gallon. Take 25 cents off of that. You can also use your fuel saver. I told you I filled up my car, my Toyota Sienna dad van. Filled it up for $15 the other day. That was on Saturday. I had the 25 cent off coupon, and I had 13 cents on my fuel saver. So please use that. It's fantastic. And there's the live look outside at Hy-Vee gas, 25 cents off. No strings attached. Just take it into the gas station. They'll get you taken care of. Also doing full service at Hy-Vee gas as well. And yeah, I need to vacuum. I feel like Toyota Muscatine, Jimmy Greenhaw, maybe they want to vacuum my van. Is that something they could do? Could you guys just vacuum it for me? Is there an option? I don't know if I need any service work done, but Toyota Muscatine, could you just pick it up and vacuum it? Is that an option? HyVee.com/mealtime. If you're not wanting to cook, obviously times are interesting right now. Maybe you just want Hy-Vee to do the cooking from like Hy-Vee Chinese to Italian and everything in between. You go to HyVee.com/mealtime, order from your phone. It's easy to do. It's right there. It's online. There's Sherry walking by outside. Mealtime made easy, and it's at your fingertips. And since we're there, if we scroll up, this is a sneak peek at the ad that's on the back page of this week's Discover Muscatine newspaper. So keep in mind that bakery deal starts on Wednesday, all right? Wednesday, the 22nd. Buy one, get one 50% off. Bread, muffins, scotcheroos, cinnamon rolls, and more. And then these deals also start Wednesday, okay? So there's a super coupon, a lot of great grocery deals, Wednesday the 22nd through Tuesday the 28th. Can you believe April's almost over? Come on. Isn't that nuts to think about? Wow. April, just like that. You feel like it's over. It's unbelievable. Okay. And then the last thing I'll mention is I think we can just, well, I guess we didn't really show the Hy-Vee ad from last week, did we? I mean, we still got that. It's so in the newspaper, you open up the Discover Muscatine, you got the Hy-Vee ad inside, then we have an ad on the back page. So that's still happening. The Hy-Vee ad getting bigger. You know, it's not certainly as large as it used to be, but still finding you great deals, hot deals, and everything in between. So just keep an eye out for that inside that newspaper, because it's still rocking and rolling, okay? And then the April 2020 food service deals are great from, again, Chinese, sushi, sandwich shop, Market Grill Express. Boney was just in here a minute ago. The kitchen crew, they get you all taken care of, whatever it is, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast always sounds good, doesn't it? Like breakfast is always a great idea, in my opinion. So today's Monday. So the salad bar, I mean, they're kind of doing the salad bar out of the case. You could buy one, get one lunch for free from the Market Grill Express. That's exciting. A sub sandwich for $4, and then a hot turkey sandwich, $3.99. So awesome deals. April food service. I'm excited. You know, I really dialed in the diet last week, and I think it was Thursday. My friend Rose Hink, who's works at the sandwich shop. She's fantastic. We have these low carb wraps, and it was awesome. I think it was Thursday. It was absolutely fantastic. It was like I think it's a Mission tortilla low carb wrap, maybe 4 carbs per wrap. And shout out to Rose. She does a great job. All right. Thank you for watching the show. We're going to get out of here. I want to thank our friend, Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army. Remember when Lieutenant Bach said today they're going to feed over 320 people? Consider donating. They need volunteers to help deliver food. And if you want to donate some money, that's cool. If you have resources like cleaning supplies, they've got that community cleaning closet, which I didn't even know about. Maybe you just want to donate money towards the community cleaning closet. Do that via the Community Foundation in Muscatine. They're matching dollar for dollar. That's exciting. I'm going to send an email to my friend Charla Schaefer at the Community Foundation and see if she wants to talk about that. Because certainly that's a place, the Community Foundation, that is flexing their muscle and supporting the community during this time. So recognize folks like Charla and her team at the Community Foundation. They're doing a great job. And I love stories like Bayer donating hand sanitizer to the Salvation Army, right? It's great. I mean, Bug Soother, Simply Soothing, taking the hand sanitizer that's being made at the Mississippi River Distilling Company in LeClaire and bottling it, and now it's in places like Hy-Vee. So it's really nice to see H&I, Hahn, making, PPE, protective equipment. So there's all these different organizations that are thinking about what they can do to help, and it's really exciting. So we recognize all those folks. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, is my intent, live at 8:30 or 7:30 and 10:30 on MPW Channel 5. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and Lutheran Living Senior Campus. Have a good rest of your day. I feel like I want to grill tonight. Isles Online's doing a great job. Things are way less stressful, which is nice. And that team is just kicking tail. They are doing so many orders for people that are not wanting to come into the store. Maybe they're at risk, whatever the case may be. HyVee.com/grocery. Still offering free delivery for folks that are over 60 years old or at high risk. HyVee.com/grocery. Create an account, shop online, use the promo code special delivery, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Pineapple upside down cake. That looks good, right? Yeah. And again, this is something that my dad's mom, the late Grandma Babe, her name was Catherine, but she was the baby of her family. Everybody called her Grandma Babe. She could totally make a pineapple upside down cake. I wouldn't even know where to begin. And a cake it is. It says it's yellow cake with pineapple filling and pineapple rings and cherries. I guarantee you this is good. Let me look at the sugar. Oh my gosh. Let me look at the carbs. So listen, it's a pandemic. So what you should do is, if you're going to celebrate National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day, just tear off the nutrition label and assume that's sugar-free. It's not, but just pretend that it is. Pretend that it's low carb. It's the opposite of low carb. It's got all the carbs. Let me just tell you, a serving is how much? A sixth of a cake. There's 6 servings per container, and per serving, there's 62 carbs. And per serving, there's 43 grams of sugar, but then it also says that it has 38 grams of sugar included. How many sugar was it? It's cake. Don't judge the cake. It's fine. It's healthy. There's fruit on it, okay? Oh, there's so much sugar. It's okay. Listen, if you're stress eating, it's fine. You're going to be fine. Just take a walk afterwards. I should never look at the nutrition label. I'm just going to do that. Oh my gosh. All right. Happy National Pineapple Upside Down Cake. Take care of yourself. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye. Wow.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.